Hi there, I'm Radical Improvements. This is my style and self-improvement channel, and today we are not doing the video in here. Today we're going to do this outside. This video today is sort of a redo or an addendum to a very old video I did back when I was doing the 365 project, one video a day. And I had this idea to try and correct a problem I saw within the self-improvement community, the men's self-improvement community, maybe also the women's too, but I don't know much about it. That guys spend far too much time inside, cooped up. And the video this is going to be titled is Get the Fuck Outside. Like, get outside, get walking, get some fresh air into your lungs. This was exacerbated, I believe, by the COVID situation, but I'm sure people felt like we're doing a bad job of this before. But when you're in COVID and obviously you're working from home, you don't get much time to yourself to go outside. And even when it wasn't during COVID, a lot of your time is spent commuting. Maybe you're going to work, maybe you go from work, you're tired, you get home, and you just don't spend much time outside unless your job actually requires you to. And then even when you're getting into self-improvement, people spend way too much time being very online and researching men's self-improvement as opposed to actually, going outside and taking action. So part of this is for me giving everyone a call to action. Like, I want more guys to spend more time outside of their rooms, outside of their houses, working towards their goals in a manner that takes them out of their house. Because your goals and your dreams should definitely take you outside of your bedroom, outside of your house. For me, going outside largely takes the form of walking, hiking, rambling. I live, fortunately, in the English countryside, and I'm absolutely blessed to have these wide open spaces and fields to go walking in. Yeah, as I said, I'm very blessed, but at the same time, I've lived in cities as well before. I used to go walking along the canals in Manchester. When I was in Mexico, I went going walking around the town squares and the historic centres. It's always been a part of my daily routine that I go out walking. It's one of the first things I do in the morning after I've had a coffee, after I've woken up. I also like to explore. Like, part of my whole thing is traveling, seeing new places, and it's better if you can go out when you go to new places, then go explore on your feet, go walking around as much as possible, don't have to rely too much on the public transport. That's why I love cities too. In cities you can set up a base in the middle somewhere and you can explore outwardly for the rest of your time there just on foot. There are many reasons for this, and I want to talk as well about a book that I like called The Philosophy of Walking. In this book, Frederick Gross maps out the journeys of several philosophers and writers, including Immanuel Kant, Rousseau and Friedrich Nietzsche, and he maps out that all of them were obsessed with walking and being outdoors. They had a pathological need to always be in movement, to always be outside and exploring. Also, such writers as Jack Kerouac he goes over, and if you read Kerouac's work, you can see that frenetic, always in movement energy coming through his writing. And Nietzsche especially. Nietzsche was a bit of a maniac, to be honest, and he was always obsessed with walking and roaming and hiking with his proteges. Now, I'm not going to stand here and pretend I'm on the same level as those great minds, of course, but the mental benefits of just leaving your house and going for an hour-long 2-mile ramble are not lost on me. Like, if I could give you a basic list, especially with terms like clarity or creativity, those benefits are immediately obvious if you ever take the time to take a break and take yourself outside. Especially in my personal instance, trying to build my business, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, I need a lot of creativity, and often I am stumped. I'm in a rut. I have no idea what I want to do, and taking a break, stepping back and going outside, getting the fresh air, getting my legs moving one step after the other, something about it just triggers something in my mind. The other side of it is the clarity, the meditation. I use walking as a form of meditation, like an active form of meditation. You get incredibly grounded by walking, by moving around, by feeling the soles of your feet. If you can do it barefoot, all the better. One of my favorite ever hikes I did barefoot in Hawaii, climbing up a volcano. That's a little bit more adventurous than I can manage in the English countryside. I mean, instead of volcanoes, we get views like this though, so I'm not doing too badly, I don't think. I think importantly, it's also a great bulwark against depression, just forcing yourself to go outside. I know I've spoken to Andy Killian-Loser a lot about this, where he was depressed. The biggest accomplishment he could actually manage when he was depressed was getting himself to go outside. That was the whole accomplishment for that day, the biggest accomplishment he can manage, the starting step. And that's what walking can be for someone who is really down in the dumps, doesn't have motivation, doesn't have the energy to do anything, just force yourself to go outside, go walking in any direction for like 30 minutes and then bring yourself back. And I promise you, you'll feel a lot better for it. You'll actually feel like you've accomplished something. And it's a lot better than being stuck in your room looking at your computer screen all day. It's a lot better than just reading about self-improvement and reading how to make your life better. You can feel like you're actually going outside and making something happen. I would also say, if you're worried that this is going to be like a waste of your time as well, also remember that walking done in a decent amount of volume is fantastic cardio. On my peak days, I've actually been ill lately, but on the weeks before, I was doing about 19,000 steps a day, which is like 1,000 calories in steps. So remember that. Also, if you feel like you're wasting time for whatever reason, you can use your walks as an opportunity to listen to podcasts. So you're doing your podcast listening up to your self-improvement, all the content you love listening to, at the same time as getting your cardio in. So that's my advice on that one. Hope you guys have found this video informative and fun. Peace out.